NFR.
NFR Extra is a podcast dedicated to the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo and features icons and personalities that embody the Western lifestyle.
That was such a big dream, just to make the NFR. And I remember we were front row seats and Cobra and Bradshaw got on Tiger Warrior, and Tiger Warrior did his Tiger Warrior things, going left and right. Yeah. He made it look so easy. I remember watching him. I'm like, that doesn't even look hard. Like, that's kind of how I wanted to ride broncs. I wanted to make it look smooth and flawless. It's such a, I'm getting goosebumps. It's such an amazing moment. It really is. Just rodeo in Las Vegas in December. You can't beat it. Bobby Steiner looked at me and said, you know what? I think you need to get white boots. And I said, why, Bobby? He said, white's the fastest color.
This is Brylan Bentley, and you're listening to NFR Extra.
Well, Lefty, I know you've heard it a million times, but let's just go ahead and get the white boots thing out in the open. I mean, you keep hearing us announcers talk about it, but is there a story behind it, or what brought the white boots on?
Yeah, so the white boots kind of came from the Steiner family. We were flying from Fort Madison, Iowa, back to Salt Lake City, and Bobby Steiner looked at me and said, you know what? I think you need to get white boots. And I said, why, Bobby? He said, white's the fastest color. It'll look fast. It'll look sharp. It'll look flashy. So I just sent my friends over at Ariat and I said, hey, how hard would it be to make some white boots? 6 days later, I had a pair of white boots. So that's kind of where that came from. I got a pair of red boots on deck. I might start wearing this summer. I just like mixing things up. I feel like sometimes if things are feeling a little dead, I feel like sometimes you just got to change something up. So that's kind of where the white boots came from. And it's kind of been my signature look this year. Every rodeo I go to, they've been talking about it, and they've been working pretty good. So I might keep rocking them.
Well, I was going to ask you if you're superstitious too, but since you told us about your haircut, your recent hairdo, obviously you are a little superstitious.
Little superstitious. Yeah, I don't want to get my hair cut. I've been drawing really good this winter, having the best winter in my career. So I got cornrows in my hair right now just so I don't have to cut my hair, and it makes me feel a little bit tougher.
I'll jump in on your career piece because you are a 3-time NFR qualifier, but I'm a little curious, when you qualified to the NFR in 2020, what were you feeling realizing that you were going to Texas and not Las Vegas?
I don't want to say I was a little bit sad, but you can't beat Vegas. Growing up, when you think of the NFR, you think of Vegas. The NFR out in Texas was phenomenal. It was so much fun. I had a great finals, and it was almost like a good little introduction to the NFR. It wasn't as hectic. You weren't in the big city. It was still such a great event, but I feel like it was a perfect warm up. That way, whenever I did get to Vegas that next in 2022. I was warmed up, kind of knew my pays. I paid everything off and was ready to rock. Yeah.
What is your favorite part of Las Vegas now that you've been here 2 times?
Oh, everything. You can't beat Las Vegas, especially during the NFR. We truly feel like superstars that week, and that's one of the only weeks in rodeo that we feel that way. The people love it out there. Everybody's got a cowboy hat on. It's literally a cowboy town. And you cannot beat Vegas in December. It's where dreams are made.
Can't disagree. Do you have a favorite restaurant before I let Andy switch that topic?
Favorite restaurant, like in Vegas or just in general?
Both.
So we stay at the Resorts World. So there's several good restaurants. There's a Mexican food restaurant in there. Stays open late. We get to go talk about our rodeo the night before and go hang out there. Fuhu is really good at Resorts World, but it's such a hectic week, honestly, that you're door dashing a lot, and you're just you don't really care what the food tastes like. You're just trying to eat something because everything's happening so fast.
Well, Brylan, you have to be careful when you're talking about restaurants with me because I love a good meal. Anyway, how much does it help, Lefty, having the family background that you do in rodeo? I mean, you're surrounded by so many experienced cowboys and rodeo athletes with your family history. How much does that help?
Oh, it helps so much. Every family, I tell this to everyone, every family event, we're not talking about football, baseball, it's rodeo. Between me, Dawson, Clayton Sellers, Dakota, Clayton Bigelow, we're all at all the family functions together. So we talk about rodeo, and sometimes we talk about golf here and there, but then we just go right back to rodeo. Rodeo is our life. Rodeo is what um, we work so hard for, and we all push each other to be the best. And that's what I love about this family so much. Coming from my grandpa, Witch Holman, to Joe Marvel, I've had some pretty dang good influences in my life. So I'm grateful.
Now, wait about golf. Who's the best golfer?
This guy right here.
Really? Okay.
Oh, I play circles around Dorthan and Clayton. No, we're all about the same. I like to give them a hard time. We get pretty competitive out there. We're not good by any means, but we have a great time doing it.
Now, is Clayton changing any diapers, or because I saw him holding the newborn at Houston?
Yeah. Bigelow is. Yeah, they just got one. Callahan, he's the cutest little boy ever, and he's gonna have a little cousin to look after, Viva. That's our girl coming here soon. So yeah. And Billy and Clayton Sellers got one on the way as well. So there's a lot of babies in the family right now.
Something in the water in Visalia.
Something in the water, buddy. Yes,
careful.
sir. And we ain't talking about cornrows.
Well, there's a lot of agriculture and ranching and farming in that area as well, is there not?
Absolutely, yeah. It's all ranchers and farmers and bull riders, bronc riders, saddle bronc riders, Visalia, California.
So when you're planning your season out, are there certain benchmarks that you're trying to hit? I mean, do you try to calculate, okay, I want to try to do this much in the winter and then I need to have this much won by Reno? How do you kind of set your year up?
Yeah, it's tough because I've had bad winters before where I've won 15,000 in the winter, and I've had great winters too. You can't really just be married to any one of those. You got to just know the season's long, and the cream always rises to the top. But my one thing I go by is I want to stay in the top 5 in the world. I feel like if I could be in the top 5 in the world when I get to Vegas, I feel like I'll have a shot at the world title. So, of course, when you first start out, your goal is to make the NFR. Then once you make the NFR, you're like, oh, this is cool, but I want to be the best. So that's kind of where I'm at right now in my career. I want to win a gold buckle. That's all I think about. That's what I work towards every day. So if I think if I could stay in the top 5 in the world throughout the season, once we get to Vegas, I'll have a great shot at it.
Do you have a ritual when it comes to, or a routine throughout the week when it comes to training?
Absolutely. Yeah. I love a routine. So, and it changes up how I'm feeling, how the body's feeling. But right now it's been 8 a.m. getting in the gym for an hour and a half every day, keeping the body feeling good. I feel like it doesn't help me like mentally and physically, but I feel like I draw better horses. I feel like I deserve more, So that's one thing I've been on the last 2 years, is my fitness, staying in shape, staying fast. And I think it gives me a mental edge and keeps me drawing them good horses.
Are there certain things you draw from the people you're around that you feel kind of helps elevate what you're doing and helps bring your game to a different level?
For sure. Yeah. They say, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. I believe that. I'm surrounded with such great friends, and a lot of them are family, so we're a very family-oriented family. And yeah, I've been super lucky with people pushing me whenever I get down, people that pick me up, or whenever I'm on my high horse, people that knock me down and be like, hey, you still got to work, the job's not finished. And 25 now, my fifth or sixth year out here riding broncs. So I feel like I'm still young, but I know what I'm doing now. And I got my own little routine and what works for me. It's so fun seeing everybody on tour, because everybody does everything a little bit differently. You know, some guys, their routines are completely different than yours, but they get to the same destination you are, and are great competitors. So it's truly fun to see all the different people.
Now, we're not going to make you pick a contractor, but I do want to know who are your top 2, 3, 4, 5 horses that, you know, throughout the year, you're like, oh, I wish I could draw this horse either at this place or at the NFR.
There's so many good horses out there nowadays, so it's hard to say. There's always going to be the better ones in the pen. I like a stronger horse. I feel like I ride stronger horses a little bit better. So like ones like Larry Culpepper or Toma Joe, the ones that are a little bit droppier and Buckhart, I feel like I ride those ones a little bit better. And everyone's got different styles. Some guys ride hoppers really, really well and make them look like they're bucking harder than they are.
Right.
And some guys ride buckers better. So I think you just got to figure out kind of what fits your style. And there's so many good horses out there nowadays. It's hard for me to pin one, but yeah, find one that fits your style.
I'll jump in on the family side of this. I was reading the other day that your family has a cattle company that you help with when you're home. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, a little bit. My dad runs a cattle operation, so he's always trading cattle, going around, and yeah, I'm on the road so much rodeo, and I don't get to help out as much as I would like to, but he stays busy, and he's got enough time on his hands. He gets to watch every rodeo on the Cowboy channel, so it's a pretty good deal we got going on over here. Like I said earlier, super blessed with my family. They've been so good. I wouldn't be here without my dad. He's supported me since high school, you know, and providing me with practice horses or new saddles or really whatever I need to succeed. He's always the first one there supporting me, along with my wife. Damn sure wouldn't be here without her. She's the one that keeps the train on the track. So got a good support system.
What does a day in the practice pen look like there at the house? Because I know there's quite a bit going on.
There are huge family functions that all my dad's friends come to. There's a lot of beer that gets drunk that day. And, it's a great time. You know, our whole family comes out. We get on practice horses. All my dad's buddies and all my buddies from the golf course. You know, sometimes there might be 70 people at the house when we're bucking horses, and we might make it an all-day event. You know, but we have a great time, and yeah, super lucky with the opportunities I've had with my family.
Next thing you know, Lefty, you'll be producing the Buck Out practice pin production piece so that everyone can come join selling tickets.
We do. We got about 30 practice horses right now. So, and we're even getting some practice bulls now for sellers. So, it's quite the operation.
Let's take a quick pause, and we'll be right back. Looking to rope in some news and features you can't find anywhere else? Then look no further than the series of blogs at NFRExperience.com. You'll find customized content from experts in all things rodeo and Las Vegas. There's the NFR Insider, The Mental Game, and One-on-One with Susan Canode, Gold Buckle Buzz with Brian Hurlburt, NFR Experience with Patrick Everson, and the Junior World Finals with Jack Nowlin. There's something for all rodeo fans. Check it out at NFRExperience.com. The biggest stage, the brightest lights, the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo.
So I know obviously during the summertime you get kind of split up from traveling partners with different entering and stuff like that, but who's going to be your main traveling group this summer?
Yeah, so me and Brody Kress have gone together the last 2 years. We go great together because his mindset and my mindset are the same, you know, working out, getting into the gym every day. He does all the entering. He knows I don't even want to know about that stuff. So he just goes ahead and enters. He enters me. He does a great job at it. Really enjoy going with Brody. He's a true champion at heart. One of the most motivated people and competitors. Like he's such a competitor, which is good for me to be around because sometimes I'm pretty happy-go-lucky, not care about much. So, yeah, we're a good mixture.
Who's the better driver?
He's probably the better driver. I'm
Lefty is from
rider.
California.
I'll ride. He'll drive.
Do you DJ then?
Yeah, I'll DJ. I'll DJ all the way there. Yeah.
So for those people that didn't get to hear this story, I want you to kind of take us back to last summer, because towards the end of July, we did something at the Snake River Stampede that I've never done before. So during the opening ceremonies, we played a video of you coming from California to get on at Nampa. So kind of take us back and take us through that chain of events and how that all went down.
Yeah. So as you guys know, the summers get pretty hectic. You know, sometimes we call it doubling ourselves up. We'll put ourselves in 2 rodeos in the same day, or we'll put ourselves over a short round. That way we call it some insurance. If you don't make the short round at Nampa, you got some insurance here, you know, in Salt Lake City. In this instant, I was in Salt Lake City and Nampa short round, and I had a really good horse at Salt Lake City. So I was planning on turning out a Nampa short round because I was coming in low to go get on the good horse in Salt Lake City. So I told Binion the only way I'll come is if I draw Womanizer. It's one of my favorite horses in the whole entire world. So he texts me at 10 o'clock in the morning and is like, you got Womanizer. And I was like, no way. Like, there's no way I'll be able to get to Nampa. I don't remember where we were coming from, but I was a long ways. Like, if I left right whenever he called me, I would get there an hour after the rodeo started. But I just had this weird gut feeling that I needed to I was like, oh, I could be 90 on Womanizer. So I just said, screw it, and started pointing the rig towards Nampa. And I was getting there like an hour after the rodeo starts, which is usually bronc riding time. So Binion called me. He's like, you need to send a video. I'm going to throw a couple acts in. We're going to do a deal in the beginning talking about you're on your way here to buy us some time. So I had to shoot a little video on the way there. And I ended up shaving like 30 minutes off my drive because I was driving over the speed limit a little bit.
Just a little.
Got to get on Womanizer. I was 88.5. When I got off on the pickup, man, knocked me out cold. But didn't know where I was at there for a while. Ended up winning second at Nampa last year on one of my favorite horses, Womanizer. What a great horse. And that's rodeo for you. It always seems like something, it works out for you because there's great people like the Cervies, you know, that got your back. So,
man, I couldn't imagine changing up the production. Could you? Getting to the finals, be like, hey, can we delay it an extra 5 minutes? They're stuck in traffic.
Yeah, Lefty's on his way. He'll be here, but he's gonna be an hour late.
Well, it was so funny too, because we're in the production meetings and, you know, it can get a little heated, you know, when you're sharing opinions and whatnot. But, you know, Binion, of course, said, well, if it works, it's going to be great. And Boyd and I look at each other and we're like, yeah, but what if he doesn't make it? Like, we've done all this stuff. But no, it was really, really cool because during one of the busiest times of the summer, you know, to be able to tell a story that's real and that everybody can relate to is, you know, everybody wants to be 2 places at one time, but you can't, and you have to make those decisions. So it was really cool that it all worked out.
For sure. Yeah, it's super cool. And you can't pass up those opportunities to get on a legendary bucking horse like that. That's what I told myself. And I was like, if I miss it, I was trying, but we made it. It was crazy. I showed up, horses were loaded, threw my stuff on. And then right after that, we had Salinas short round the next day. So I got knocked out, didn't know where I was at, had to stumble my way to the plane, and they flew us straight to Salinas, got on Salinas the next day, and I won Salinas. So it was a hectic 3 days, but it worked out.
Yeah, pretty good 48-hour period.
Yes, sir.
Now, I often see through social media the gold lions. Is there something special about the lion itself for you?
I've always loved lions since I was a kid. I've always had it out for lions. I used to always try to draw lions in pre-K and all that. So yeah, that's just something I've kind of took with me throughout my career is putting lions, little hidden lions on my gear, like on my shaft. lions and roses are kind of my deal. Red and gold are my deal. So I like to kind of combine those. My wife, she's always got some type of lion or something on her clothes, especially at the NFR. And I think it's luck for me. So I'm a superstitious guy. So we always got lions on our stuff.
Other than the haircut, is there any other like crazy superstitions that you carry throughout the year?
I used to be more superstitious than I am now. Like I remember like the first time I was 85 points, I had a white shirt on, so I thought maybe it was the white shirt. So I wore a white shirt for the rest of the year. I threw out all my other colored shirts and wore, I think the first year I made the NFR, I wore a white shirt every single night just because I thought maybe that's why I was getting so many points. But yeah, my dad's very superstitious, and I'm superstitious as well. But I've kind of mellowed out through my age. You know, I'm not as superstitious, but I'm still not going to put a hat on the bed.
Yeah,
Fair.
absolutely not.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
Absolutely not.
yeah.
People that do it just like, that's a rule, right? Like,
Right.
It's not even a
Come on.
that's a rule. You cannot break it.
Yeah.
Well, the crazy thing is even like a ball cap, like I can't even do a ball cap. You know, I mean, a lot of people just say it's a cowboy hat, but if it goes on your head and covers your hair, like it doesn't go on the bed. But
I'm with you 100%.
So let's go back to the NFR for just a moment, because you've had quite a few go round wins and some great moments, but I want to know, was there ever one that stood out to you as a fan growing up, and then obviously one of those go round wins for you?
Yeah, as a fan, I'll never forget whenever Coburn Bradshaw, I think this might have been 2018 maybe, or 17. I think I was in high school. He got on Tiger Warrior in the E-Pin, and my dad got his front row tickets, gold buckle tickets. And this is when I really was getting obsessed with bronc riding. You know, I thought maybe I had a shot to make the NFR, you know, one day. And that was such a big dream, you know, just to make the NFR. And I remember we were front row seats, and Coburn Bradshaw got on Tiger Warrior, and Tiger Warrior did his Tiger Warrior things, going left and right, making a U-turn back to the chutes, left and right. And he made it look so easy. You know, I remember watching him. I'm like, that doesn't even look hard. Like he made it look so effortless. So that's kind of how I wanted to ride broncs. You know, I wanted to make it look smooth and flawless, you know. And yeah, I was sitting front row, and I'll never forget that ride. It feels like it was yesterday. And a ride that I made at the finals that really stuck out was when I was 90. I won the second round, and then when I won the third round, I was 90 and a half on Sunglow of Volds. And I just remember getting a really good spur out and like feeling my feet, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna hold him one more. And I held him one more, and my feet came really good. And I remember beating her to the ground and just being like, oh, I'm going to win this round. It's over. You know, got off on the pickup man, 90 and a half, and gave a fist pump, and like just the Thomas and Max electric, you know, like whenever you give a fist pump, like it just feels like the place is blowing up around you. You know, it's so loud. It's so electric feeling. It's like, oh, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it right now. But yeah, that one really sticks out to me. I remember they put the camera right on my family right after they announced my score, and they were hooping and hollering, throwing fist bumps. Super cool moment, one I'll never forget.
What's it like heading over to the South Point after, when you gather in that little small hallway and then hit the stage?
Yeah, so I always cruise over there with Rocker. So Rocker's got a driver, his name's T Money, and T Money, he's one of the coolest guys in the world, and he's always bumping some rap music, and it's just like it's one of the coolest feelings in the world, just because when you get to experience it with someone else, you know, it's super fun because you work so hard throughout the year. And it's those little moments, like when you're pulling up to the Thomas and Mack 2 hours before the rodeo starts, there's no one else around, just security guards, and like you're just walking into the tunnel, and you see all them great bucking horses, and like they're all in great shape because it's the NFR, you know, like it's such I'm getting goosebumps. It's such an amazing moment. It really is. Just rodeo in Las Vegas in December. You can't beat it. You can't beat it.
So a pitcher in baseball has what's called walkout music. Okay. So when he's going to the mound to get ready to pitch, he selects a song, and that's his song. If you had a Lefty Holman song, and it's going to get you jacked up right before they open the gate, what's it got to be?
It changes. It changes quite a bit. I got a lot. Right now, it's Superstar. It's a song called Superstar. Sugar Sean walks out to it.
Okay.
I play it going into the rodeo. Every single rodeo, I play it right when I'm driving into the rodeo grounds. The lyrics are, "If you are who you say you are, a superstar." And it's pretty much saying, go prove yourself, you know? So that's one I always put in my earphones or in the truck when I'm pulling into the rodeo grounds. They always play California songs whenever I go.
Yep.
You know, any of them. I get pretty fired up to anything, you know. It's always changing, but those are a couple of them.
What's unique about your hometown?
The people. The people are great around here. They love rodeo. When people give me a hard time being from California, and I didn't really get it for a while. I was like, why is everyone so weirded out about California? Like, this place is great, you know, like, and then like I started understanding whenever people think of California, they think of San Francisco, LA, you know,
Yep.
Bay Area, which, I get it. You know, there's a lot of flaws to it, but there's a lot of great that comes out of this state. And where I live, it's the people. You know, it's the ranchers and the farmers and the hard workers and people that love rodeo where I live. And it makes Visalia very unique just because it's not like what you would imagine California's like. You know, but we got the ocean and we got the mountains right around the corner. So I mean, it's paradise for me. And where my wife lives in Kona, Hawaii, it's another paradise, you know, and the people are so unique there. So we live the best of both worlds. We always say that, and we truly do.
How often do you get to go to Hawaii?
It's been more often this year. We've been a couple of times. We're about to go back next week, but we usually spend about 2 months or 2.5 months out of each year there, which is one of my top places to be in the whole entire world. I love that place. It's so disconnected from the world. Whenever I call it recharging my batteries, whenever I need to go recharge my batteries, when I get a little burnt out, which everybody does get a little burnt out at their craft whenever you're obsessed with it like we are. I call it recharging my batteries and go over there. I just need a week, go spear some fish, go surfing, go hiking. I try to do all the local stuff when I'm there. So it's pretty fun.
Well, Lefty, we appreciate your time, brother. Make sure those batteries are on full because once the summer gets rolling, we want to see you back in Vegas come December.
Absolutely. I'll be there. Thank you guys for having me. And I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. We'll see you in Vegas.
All right. We'll see you there.
Want to experience more of the NFR? Then visit NFRexperience.com. And we invite you to subscribe to NFR Extra on Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and wherever you're listening right now. If you like what you've heard on NFR Extra, we would love it if you gave us a 5-star rating and tell your friends how to subscribe.